cold, it's grim, there's bogs everywhere, snow everywhere and ice. It's flipping miserable. It's Sunday morning, I should be in bed. What am I doing here? Good morning everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Lake District. More specifically, Long Sleddale. This is Long Sleddale here. Isn't that absolutely mind-blowingly gorgeous? So today I'll be hitting a couple of fells that I've never been up before in my entire life. These are totally new to me and I must admit I am quite excited about that. Going up Grey Crag and then over to Tarn Crag. Grey Crag is so aptly named today because it is such a grey and gloomy day. I've parked up in Sadgill down here and heading straight up to Grey Crag via Great Howe. Now, straight off the bat, this is a steep pull-up. You leave the car park, not really much of a car park. Yeah, there's no steady warm-up, you're going up. Let's have a look at the map and see what the day has in store for us. So from Sadgill, I'm going to head up the very steep-sided Great Howe. Along the next section of the path is another one of those survey stations, so I'll go and have a look at that before heading up to the first fell of the day, Grey Crag. After which I'll need to traverse Grey Crag Tarn, aka the Bog of Doom, and then over to Tarn Crag, second fell of the day, before dropping down to Brown Howe Bottom. And at this point I should get some pretty good views of Gatesgarth Pass. Then it's back into the valley of Long Sleddale, and the map indicates waterfalls here, so I'm looking forward to seeing those. Before a bit of a trudge along the valley floor, heading back towards Sadgill and the Vine. So that is our route today. I don't know what you're going to see because it's quite overcast. It's very dark at the moment, really gloomy, and this camera's maxed out at the moment, so it looks very dark. I'm sorry, I'm so out of breath. But just looking across the valley, this is Shipman Knots here. That forms part of the Kentmere Horseshoe. I'll be up there probably next week, actually. Yeah, not a bad view, that is it. Very enjoyable. Takes the pain away a little bit. Right, just getting up to the hole in the wall here. Cool, that is a real step up. In fact, Wainwright does mention that if you've got short legs you might struggle here. So it's not a very well trodden path, this one. I think because it is just a little bit harder to get to, a little bit harder to park. It's quite obscure actually. I mean, these fells are obscure. I've never been here before because they've just not been on my radar. I haven't felt that draw to them, and I'm hoping that I'm going to be pleasantly surprised like I was with Great Mill Fell and Little Mill Fell. Okay, I have to warn you, this climb straight out is brutal. Wow, it's very steep, particularly after the stile there. Gets really steep as we approach Great Howe and the crags that form it. Whew. Digging deep now. So just getting up to Great Howe now, Brown Cow, and from the road this looks almost impassable. And when you look at the map it looks like, you know, am I going to be scrambling along crags and stuff? But actually, as you can see, it's a very clear and easy way. Okay, it's finally levelling off. Wow, that was brutal. Now, got to this wall. What we'll do now is handrail it in a southerly direction and get over it a bit further down there. Just get over it. Forecast wise, it's meant to be very windy today. However, there's not a breath of wind here, so it's coming in from the other side. I think once I get up to Grey Crag, that's when it's going to get a little bit blowy and miserable. But it'll be fine. Now I need to be switched on here because I don't want to miss the gap in the wall or the stile or the gate or whatever it is that's going to take me back up towards Grey Crag, which is in that direction. Let's have a look. Look at that. Okay, here it is. It's a very rickety looking stile. Is that going to be safe? Can't even get onto it. Oh, yeah. So far, so good. But look what I'm stepping into. Looks like a bog. I'm going to try and step onto that little thing, onto that post. I don't know if you can see any of this. And then I'm going to shimmy across. Done. You know what? That was me being over the top again. All that bog is frozen. I could have stepped on it. Over the top, drama queen. So over that fence and a bit further up towards Grey Crag, but kind of contouring round now, and I'm going to come across one of those survey stations again, like I did on the last video. Now, in that video I didn't know what it was, but I've done a little bit of research since then, and I'll tell you what it is when we get there. Oh, look at this little herd here of rough fell. Hey, rough fell. Doesn't quite work, does it? Much less jittery than herdies and swaleys. These guys will stand the ground. So as you can see, kind of contouring around the hill now. The path seems to have sort of disappeared a bit, so I guess you just have to kind of pick your way around. Like I said, it's not a well-trodden route this, so yeah, it's kind of up to you. I should be able to see that survey station in a minute. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Let's go and have a look. So here we are at one of the survey stations on this walk. There's another one a bit further on, apparently, marked on the map as a pillar. Now, these were actually installed by the Manchester Corporation when they were putting in the aqueduct that runs from Haweswater over that way somewhere, all the way down to Manchester. So all that's left of that particular engineering project are these survey stations. Somewhere down there, or maybe even up here, I don't know, is the aqueduct, and it runs from Haweswater to Manchester, giving them their supply of beautiful fresh Lakeland water. So yeah, I do apologise about not doing my research on that previous video. I should have looked it up and found out exactly what this was. I think I said it was like possibly Ordnance Survey or BGS, but it turns out it was the Manchester Corporation getting the water sorted out. Nice place though, isn't it? What a great view. And that right across the valley is Grey Crag. That's the first summit of the day. That's what I'm going to head to right now. Just again trying to contour round as much as possible. I don't want to lose too much height, and then get up there. And I was going to say the views will open up, but I don't think they will, because looking down to the south, you can see it's a really, really gloomy, miserable day. But spirits are high, so all is good. Let's get on. So, judging by the map, I'll be going across the face of Sleddale Fell there and then up to the top. Yeah, somehow can't make out a path or anything yet, but in a minute I'll be crossing this fence. You probably can't see the fence, so it's a bit further up over this brow, so I might as well do a little bit of hand railage. Okay, get to a corner of the wall on the fence, hoping there's a gate or a stile. I still can't see one. Oh no, there's a stile at the top. I can just make that out now. Oh, let's get across. Whew. So ordinarily on a clear day, you'd be able to see a lot from here, looking south towards Morecambe Bay and everything else and Long Sleddale, but there's nothing, you can't see anything. It's just couple of miles and it stops. But what we can see here, Shipman Knots there and Kentmere Pike. I hope I'm not in the way. I'll stand over here. Kentmere Pike. And we can't quite see Hartefell yet. That's just around the corner and up in the cloud as well. Yeah, it's looking very grim up there at the moment. Very grim indeed. Let's hope all that lifts by next week. I don't mind the snow, but I want to get the views off Kentmere Pike and Hartefell because they are, well, they're just flipping beautiful. They really are. Okay, let's get on and get up to Grey Crag. It's not too far, a little bit of a pull, but it'll be all right. This video today is sponsored by me, Black Crag. If you're enjoying these videos and love the outdoors, please consider visiting my website at blackcrag.uk, where you can browse a selection of unique and striking fine art photographs taken by me on my various adventures. There's the open edition prints, which feature a number of top hotels and restaurants right here in the Lake District, as well as limited editions if you're after something a little more rare and collectible. All photographs are printed on the very best paper available. When you see these photographs printed, you'll be blown away by the quality. And it's free worldwide shipping. By buying one of my photographs, not only will you be investing in a piece of art for your home, but also supporting this channel directly, which in turn allows me to make more of these videos. So it's not obvious from further back there, but actually this is a pretty clear path and fairly easy. When you look at the map and you look from a distance, it looks like you're crossing right across the front of a steep crag, but you're not. Cold day today, it is cold. Not windy yet though, I'm kind of waiting for that. I'm dreading it, but we'll see. Look at this gloom. Well and truly back in the snow again now, and I like it. I like it a lot. I love that snow on the grass like that. It just looks so beautiful and delicate. Starting to level off a bit. It's a funny one, as you approach you think, is it higher than that? But actually, it's there, look, with a pile of rocks. So yes, a Grey Crag, definitely living up to its name today. Look at it. Grey and white and gloomy, but still incredibly beautiful. Oh, it really is. Just destroy the cane as I approach. So, from the top here we can actually see over that way Tarn Crag, and I can also see the survey station on the top as well. And over to the east I can also see Harrop Pike just there. So Grey Crag is actually the most eastern fell in the Lake District. Well, most eastern Wainwright in the Lake District. Obviously there are other fells like that one further east. But yeah, this is it. This is the farthest reach east that I'm going to be going in this entire series. Whew, flipping it, that wind's got up and it is icy. Very, very cold. Just stopped there for a few minutes and got very cold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to Tarn Crag now, that direction, and get across the bog that is Grey Crag Tarn. I don't think it's much of a tarn, I think it is just a bog. So I think the best way across is to follow this fence here that goes along on the eastern side of the tarn and hopefully cuts out most of the bog, but we'll see. It's looking very featureless at the moment. Very difficult to see any of the hills and the crags in the background. I mean, I can sort of see them. I don't know how visible they are in this camera, but yeah, it's still nice though. You know, it's still beautiful. It might be grim and gloomy, but there's a certain raw beauty about it. This place doesn't care if it looks pretty or if it looks ugly. It is what it is. Okay, as you can see, just getting to the corner of the fence now. If I wanted to, I could head off and hit Harrop Pike as well. It's not too far actually, but there's no point. I mean, I always encourage people to do that, to step off the usual Wainwright stuff and go and see other things, but I think today there won't be much to see down from the other side, it would literally just be ticking off a hill. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, follow this fence along now. And it's very boggy around here. I can hear it crunching underneath my feet and cracking. But thankfully, because it is very cold and frozen, I'm able to pass right across the top. I wouldn't fancy coming to do this in spring or autumn. Now then, I'm trying to figure out if it's raining. I can hear spots hitting me. I hope it's not. I mean, it's looking very dark and grey over that way, as you can see. It looks like something's moving in, which will mean waterproofing up all this camera gear and mics and stuff, which is a little bit of a faff, to be honest with you. So here's the Tarn, just there around those reeds. Like I said, it's not much of a tarn. It is just a swamp. Swamp of death. Right, about to go across the actual Tarn bit itself now. This in summer, or like I said, the changing seasons, would be potentially awful. So I think it's a really good idea to do it this time of year. One, it's easier for you, and two, it's actually better for the environment, because I'll be causing much less damage to this area stomping through now than I would do if I was here in the summer. Yeah, very straightforward that. No problems whatsoever in winter. It's just so flipping cold. Ugh. And it's starting to rain. Well, typically I've just put all the waterproofing bits and pieces on the camera and on the mic and everything else, and the rain stopped. And in doing so, spending that time doing that, I've got really cold. I can't feel my fingers on my left hand at all. So it just really proves that point again. When you get a little bit more elevation into these colder areas, you get cold very, very fast, particularly with that wind. It's not a strong wind, about 10-15 miles an hour maybe, but it's just enough to literally cut you in half. I think in about 10 minutes time I should hit the summit of Tarn Crag. I don't think I'm going to hang around there. The original plan, all these grand plans, was to go and have lunch up there and enjoy, but no chance. It'd be way too cold for that, so I'm just going to get up there, tick it off, and head back down towards the pass. You can see where the summit is now. Kind of glad that I've got a bit of uphill to do because I'm so cold. I need to generate some heat now and get some feeling back in my fingers. It's cold, it's grim, there's bogs everywhere, there's snow everywhere and ice. It's flipping miserable. It's Sunday morning, I should be in bed. What am I doing here? Well, I'll tell you what I'm doing here. Living life. Using the body, getting out and having all these huge lungfuls of fresh air, seeing things that I wouldn't normally see, experiencing things that I wouldn't normally experience. It's wonderful. It is truly living. And I absolutely love this environment, this country and this region and this Lake District. We are so lucky. Okay. Summit is just over here, look. Snowshoes. That's what I need. Okay, here we are at the summit of Tarn Crag. To get up, And as you can see, another survey station here. So I'd imagine, and I haven't checked this, I'd probably need to check on a map, but I bet if you were to draw a line from the one that I was on near Crag last week, that one down there from today, and this one, I bet they join up in a straight line. A weird looking structure. It almost looks like a GoPro connector thingy. I guess they would have put some kind of instrument in there, a little bit like building surveyors, and they put the you know, the doofer on top of the tripod and look through it and measure everything up. I guess it's maybe, I don't know, a similar sort of idea there. But just have a look around, just have a look. Clouds have come down, so everything's completely clagged in and very atmospheric. I love it, I just love this. It just feels like I could be, you know, in Antarctica or something like that. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all check that I am on the true summit because I want to make sure I've ticked that off, and then navigate my way off the fell. So yeah, as I suspected, where the survey station isn't the true summit. You can actually see it when you stood there. You can clearly see that the summit is just over a little bit here. Whoa. It's boggy, very boggy even here, even right on the top. But yes, this is a true summit here, and then what I'm going to do is pick up the path in that direction, which should then hit a wall or fence, probably the same fence I was on before by the Tarn there, and then get down to Brown Howe Bottom, which should be below the cloud. Here we go, summit. Nice, isn't it? So as you can see, there's the service station. There's a path going off in that direction, there's a path going off that direction, and a path going off that direction. That's my path right there. And it'll, like I said, it'll take me to the fence and then down into the valley. I'm not going to hang around. Like I said before, if it had been a nice day or clear, I would have had something to eat up here, but it's Baltic, it really is. Right, I can kind of make out the land down there now. Not far off the bottom of the cloud base actually, so in a minute it should all clear out and I should be able to see the full route ahead. So let's get down to the fence first of all, and then Brown Howe Bottom. What a name. Nice set of panpipes there on the fence. God, that wind is fierce. It really is. It's like tearing my face off. Right, as I approach this stile, you may or may not have noticed I can see Gatesgarth Pass. Sorry, I don't know what I'm pointing to at the moment, but you should be able to see it. That saddle there, and this is obviously Brandstree, it's in the cloud, and Hartefell's in the cloud as well, and Saleside's over that way. Nice, it's a shame I can't see more. Well, as I drop down, I should be able to see a bit more of it. Let's go. Ooh, it's icy. Okay, I'm going to stick on the slightly softer stuff. So almost at Brown Howe Bottom now, and you can clearly see Gatesgarth Pass there. And over to the east, we can see Mosedale or Mosedale. Different one, not the one up towards Pillar, going off Wasdale. Okay, jump. Ugh. Wow, look at this ice here. Ooh, I think I'll avoid that, thanks. I'm already thinking about what pub to go to. I think I'm going to head over towards a place called Strickland Arms, just south of Kendal. So I might just pop in there. It's really early, it's not even lunchtime yet though, so. But by the time I get there, I'm sure it will be an appropriate time for a pint. And I don't want to look like an alcoholic, you know, rocking up early doors like at Wetherspoons. There's absolutely no way you would do that in summer. If you did that, you'd be up to your neck in peat bog. be light, be light, be light, be light, be light, be light. Oh, that was so heavy. Okie dokie, here we are at the path that's going to take me back down to Long Sleddale. And I guess once upon a time, well, there still is a gate here. It goes down to Morsdale, but a little bit worse for wear. This should be a nice stroll down into Long Sleddale, back into the valley, straight into the flipping wind, which is a bit of a shame, but never mind. Ooh, now then, I reckon, ooh, that is actually proper solid. It's very wet down here, there's a lot of bog. I'm even getting a little bit muddy on my feet now. As you can see, not all of it's frozen. Yeah, I would highly recommend doing this walk and these fells, these two fells, at this time of year when we've got snow and ice on the ground. Otherwise, this just would not be fun at all. Quite a lot of quarry works around here as well. As you can see, various tracks and little buildings and all kinds of stuff. Piles of slate and everything up there as well. Yeah, a lot of work around here, a lot of history again. Oh, let's have a look. I kind of started moving down to it and thought, no, I don't want to go there, but I just already committed and that was it. I just started sliding. Wow, that is absolutely incredible. Just such a vast valley, so deep and wide. I mean, I don't know if it's coming through on this camera, it probably just looks rubbish because it's a GoPro, but when you're here, it really is very impressive, very impressive. And you know, if I hadn't been doing this Hiking the Wainwrights series, I wouldn't be here. I can guarantee you now, I would not be doing this. Like I said earlier, this place just was not on my radar at all. So it's definitely brought me to places that I wouldn't ordinarily have come to. But so far, really, really enjoying the Far Eastern Fells. Wonderful part of the Lake District. So the path just kind of follows this little nameless beck, which eventually flows into the River Sprint. Okay, I'm just about to join up with the Gatesgarth Pass path, which just comes down there. You can kind of see it winding down the fell side there. So I'm going to be joining that in a few seconds. 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. As I walk down here, I just want to say a huge thank you, by the way, to all of you who've donated to the channel. There are a handful of you who regularly donate. I just want to say an extra special thanks to you guys. You know who you are. You donate on pretty much every single video. So thank you. It is greatly appreciated and a massive help to the channel and keep me going out. So thank you. I do apologise about the nose though. So you can probably see it. Path comes down here along the wall through that gate there, and this is where I'm going to join up with it. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm pointing this camera. I'm right-handed, my left hand is absolutely useless. I might as well leave it at home, save a bit of weight. Just chop my left arm off. It's so weird, you know, after a day in the snow, to see things that aren't white anymore. You're so used to the brightness of the snow, and suddenly when it goes dark, it feels odd. Here's another little finger post, slightly bigger than the one last week. Public byway to Mardale Head, 2 miles. So yeah, 2 miles over Gatesgarth Pass there. Right, the wind's dropped significantly, which means I can have a nice gentle stroll back into the valley and just enjoy seeing stuff that I've never seen before. All that newness. It's a real voyage of discovery. I love it. It's a cute little bridge. Very cute. Accompanied by a very cute little gate as well. A very cute little wall. Oh, It's just so cute around here. Ah, so it's one of these kinds of paths betwixt two walls. But look at this ahead. I'm definitely not walking down that section of the path. That's just sheet ice. Although, saying that, you know, it would be a fast way down, wouldn't it? Sounds nice. Oh yeah. So these are marked on the map as waterfalls, which they are. This little one's nice though, very, very nice. Okay, the path has got a bit more friendly now. Isn't that just an absolutely stunning scene? The path, the wall, the mountain, I mean, it's just, oh. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I might say it. This is one of my favourite places. Look at this track. Look at it. This really is quintessential Lakeland. Feels like it to me anyway. That's an interesting looking rock formation there. That's called Steel Pike. And it's some ways down from Kentmere Pike. Raven Crag just above it. Here are the other falls as well. They're marked on the map. Definitely worth just sticking your head over the wall here and having a look, because that's beautiful. Yeah. That's very nice, isn't it? What is very surprising when you get to this point in the walk is just how far north you've walked on this route. I've got a long way to go down the valley, heading south. It's surprising, you don't realise when you're up on the fell how much you're heading in that direction. Lovely though, I mean, it's not like I'm walking around some hideous estate in a city somewhere, is it? Got all this to look at and be thankful for living here. Approaching the bottom of the valley now as it's flattening out, and I think I'm just going to be on this loose rock path pretty much all the way, which is not ideal. These are kind of what I call ankle snaps. Some interesting crags here though. Very interesting. Wow, look at that. Look how sharp they are. Don't know if that's coming through on this camera, but very impressive. Now then, you can see it's gone a little bit hazy. That means it's raining, which it is. I can feel it. As you walk down this track, all you can hear is the wonderful sound of the different waterfalls as it cascades down into the valley there. It is beautiful, but it is making me very thirsty. This is frozen up completely. And it just goes to show how cold it was up there today. Look at this place. That is... It feels very remote here. Very, very remote indeed. Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. I love it here. First time. Definitely won't be the last time. If you're enjoying this video, by the way, please give it a thumbs up. It makes a big difference to little channels like this when obviously the audience shows its appreciation. And if you're new, why not subscribe? If you like this kind of thing, there's a lot of it. A lot of waffle, a lot of mountains, some photographs, sometimes a cute little dog as well. So slowly but surely getting down to the end of the valley here. It's just one of those kind of walks, you know, it feels a little bit like Mickeldon when you're walking off Rossett Pike down Rossett Gill, heading towards the old Dungeon Gill in Langdale. That's a bit of a trudge. This has a similar sort of feel to it. I want to go to the pub. I think what it is because I didn't go last week. I missed out and I felt a bit bereft. Okay, just approaching the car park now. back in Sadgill. And looking back up the valley, wow. That is just, beautiful place. Can't believe I've never been here. Crazy. Anyway, back in the car park. Worth noting, by the way, if you want to go and do this walk, you've got to get here really early. I got here at, what time was it? Just before 8 o'clock, around about 8 o'clock actually. I was the first person here, but shortly after, another car came, and as I was setting off, another car came. So, and you can see now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other cars, including my van here. And there's probably a space maybe for 2 or 3 more. But yeah, there's not a lot, so you've got to get here early. Just worth mentioning that. Oh, okay. I didn't realise this was here. I'm going to put a little bit of money in there. It's handy having this space here to go and do these incredible walks, so it's the least we can do. We want to get some change from the van. Let's put a couple of quid in there. Okay, I got to the Strickland Arms and it was absolutely jam-packed. Of course it was. It's Sunday and it's midday, so everybody's there having a Sunday roast. I thought, you know what, I'm not going to stand amongst that lot. It was just so busy in there. I thought I'd come home. Wherever I go would be exactly the same. So it's okay, I've got a beer at home anyway. I really hope you've enjoyed this one. It's been a fantastic day in such a beautiful valley, somewhere that I've never visited before, but like I mentioned earlier, wow, will I be going back. It's absolutely beautiful there, really, really is, and so quiet as well. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you can come out on my next walk next week, which is half a Kentmere horseshoe. You'll see. Anyway, I'll see you there. Cheers.